"You're not welcome at Thanksgiving until you apologize to your brother," my dad said, his voice booming through the speakerphone. I could hear the football game on TV and the clatter of my mom preparing her famous sweet potato casserole in the background. "You embarrassed him in front of his new girlfriend," my mom added, her tone clipped. Someone, probably my uncle, chuckled and said, "She can have the dog's leftovers in the backyard." My grip on the phone turned white-knuckled. "And who do you think paid for the premium cable package you're watching that game on?" I asked, my voice dangerously calm. "We don't need your handouts," my dad snapped, the authority in his voice meant to shut me down. "What we need is for you to learn some respect." "Okay," I whispered. The word felt like the turning of a dead bolt. "Let's see how you manage without my handouts." "My name is Hannah. I'm 26, and I've been the family's ghost financier for 3 years. By day, I'm a quiet but meticulous data analyst for a nonprofit. By night, I was the invisible force paying the bills my charismatic but financially reckless family couldn't or wouldn't manage. It started when my dad's hours got cut at the factory. I covered the car payment, just this once. Then it was the expensive health insurance for my brother Jake, the aspiring influencer, because he needed flexibility. Then the water bill, the roof repair, the new iPhone for my mom because she accidentally dropped it in the sink. My quiet deposits became the grease that kept the wheels of their lives turning, while my own dreams of going back to graduate school were perpetually on hold. Has your family ever made you feel like your only value is your wallet? Tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I read every single one because I know that feeling of being used all too well. The final straw was the email. Thanksgiving potluck assignments, my aunt had written. The list was detailed. Uncle Tim turkey, Cousin Lisa pies, Mom sides, Jake drinks, with the winky emoji because everyone knew he'd show up empty-handed. My name was nowhere. I wrote back, "What should I bring?" Jake replied to the entire list within minutes. "Hannah can bring a side of apologies this year. Seats are limited for people who actually support the family." Support. The word was a knife. My crime? I told his new girlfriend over a casual dinner what I did for a living. When she asked Jake, he'd lied and said he was a brand consultant. My truth exposed his fiction, and I was labeled a saboteur. I called my dad, and I heard the familiar chaos of home. "You're not coming until you make things right with Jake," he said, his voice firm. "You undermined his confidence." "By having a job?" I shot back, my frustration boiling over. "By existing?" My mom chimed in. "Don't be dramatic, Hannah. He's building his brand. You just don't understand the industry." I took a sharp breath. "You want drama? Try explaining to the power company why your electricity is getting shut off." A sudden silence fell on their end, followed by the click of the call disconnecting. 10 minutes later, my aunt texted, "Let's not air our dirty laundry. Family is about forgiveness." Then she posted a picture in the family group of the Thanksgiving table setting, everyone's name on a fancy place card except mine. On Thanksgiving Day, I avoided social media, but my mom texted me a picture of a single paper plate heaped with food. "Left yours on the porch swing. Don't let the raccoons get it." I drove by later that evening. The plate was still there, the gravy congealed under the dim porch light. I didn't stop. The next morning at the grocery store, I ran into my aunt. She was with a friend. "Oh, this is my niece, Hannah," she said, not unkindly. Then she added, "She's very practical. Doesn't really get our family's creative side." The friend gave me a pitying smile. I abandoned my cart and left. That afternoon, my dad called. "Hannah, I need you to cover my truck insurance payment. It's due today and things are tight." There was no greeting, no mention of yesterday. When I didn't immediately agree, He sighed. Come on, be a team player. Family helps family. I hung up. I opened the secure folder on my laptop, a digital ledger I'd kept out of a growing sense of self-preservation. It was all there. Dates, amounts, memos. Dad's truck note, $380. Jake's emergency dental bill, $1,200. Mom's credit card minimum, $150. The list was endless, a chronicle of my financial servitude. Later, my mom called. Hannah, sweetie, I need you to Venmo me $200 for the holiday decorator. She's coming this afternoon. In her voice, I heard the unshakable belief that my money was theirs for the taking. I opened my ledger and typed a new heading, Operation Freedom. I turned off my phone. What they didn't know was that I held all the keys. The cable and internet were in my name. The auto pay for my dad's truck was linked to my account. I was the one who had co-signed the family cell phone plan to get them a better deal, making me the primary account holder. They lived in a digital house I had built, and I was about to pull the master switch. I printed every statement, every transfer confirmation, every text message where they'd asked for money. I compiled it all into a plain white binder. On the first page, I wrote a simple title, The Cost of Family, a 3-year audit. I met my friend, Sophia, a no-nonsense accountant who had urged me to do this months ago. I slid the binder across the table at the library. She flipped through it, her eyebrows rising with each page. Hannah, she finally said, you haven't been helping them. You've been funding their delusions. It's time for an audit. That night, I executed the plan with the calm precision. I logged into every online portal. I canceled the auto pay on my dad's truck. I changed the passwords on the cable and internet accounts, logging all devices out. I initiated a transfer of the cell phone plan, leaving them a 30-day window to establish their own service. It was a systematic, digital eviction from the life I was funding. On Sunday, Jake posted a mirror selfie with a caption about cutting toxic people out of your life. The irony was thick enough to taste. I simply blocked him. On Monday, I overheard my uncle at the gas station telling someone, she'll come crawling back. She always does. The first call came on Tuesday. It was my mom, her voice shrill with panic. The internet is out. The TV says we're not authorized. What's going on? I canceled it, I said flatly. You can't do that. How am I supposed to watch my shows? How will Jake manage his online presence? You'll have to figure it out. I'm coming over. We need to talk. I brought the binder. Sitting at their kitchen table, I placed the white binder in the center. This is for us, I said, cutting off my dad's attempt to call in my uncle. My dad sat down, looking confused. Jake said he was contributing, he mumbled, avoiding my eyes. I opened the binder. He told you that because the money was coming from me. I pointed to line after line of deductions from my account. My mom's hand flew to her mouth as she saw the 3-year total. Page after page of her salon visits, my dad's fishing trips, Jake's new sneakers, all paid for by me. You banned me from Thanksgiving until I apologized to my brother, so I stopped paying for the life you enjoy while excluding me. The back door slammed open. Jake walked in, holding his phone. My service is getting cut off. What did you do, you psycho? I slid a sheet of paper toward him. It was a printout of his Venmo requests to me over the last year, all highlighted. The urgent rent he needed before a weekend in Vegas, the business investment that was actually a new gaming console. He stared at it, his bravado crumbling. You can call me names, I said. I call this a balance sheet. My dad finally looked at me, truly looked at me. We didn't know it was like this, he whispered, a broken record of willful ignorance. My mom stared at the final number. Tears welled in her eyes. We would have been more grateful, she said. I shook my head. No, you would have just asked for more. I stood up. I'm not asking for a penny back, I said. The shock on their faces was palpable. They had expected a negotiation. I'm just done. The accounts are in your names now. You're adults. Act like it. I tapped the binder. The login information for everything is in the back. Good luck. Jake found his voice. You're really going to strand us like this? I'm leaving you exactly as you left me, to fend for yourselves. I walked out. The cold air had never felt more cleansing. As I drove away, a wave of fear hit me. What if they never forgive me? Then I passed the park and saw people laughing, living their lives without this weight, and I knew the silence was a gift. In the following weeks, the family group chat became a helpline. How do we reset the router? Why is the truck company calling? The dynamic had shattered. I, however, felt a freedom I hadn't known in years. I enrolled in that graduate program. I went to a movie by myself on a Tuesday night just because I could. The money I saved was mine. There was no grand reconciliation. There were small, awkward steps. My dad called to ask, genuinely, how to set up a budget spreadsheet. My mom paid a bill late and didn't call me to fix it. The greatest change was the quiet. I kept the white binder. It's not a trophy of war. It's a certificate of liberation. A week before Christmas, my dad called. Your mom, we'd like you to come for Christmas, if you want. Will I need to apologize for existing? I asked. A long pause. We're learning, he said. I'll think about it. And for the first time, it was my decision, on my terms. I spent Christmas Day volunteering at a soup kitchen. It was the most fulfilling holiday I'd had in a decade. They lost their financier that day, but I found my future, and I learned that the most powerful thing you can say isn't "I'm sorry," but "I'm done." If you've ever been loved conditionally based on your utility, know that you are worth more. Where are you watching from? Share your story below. And if you're ready to start setting boundaries, hit subscribe. Your freedom is waiting.